Thank you. Okay, we're live.
I can go?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Reggie.
Thank you. The meeting will come to order. The time is now 5:34 p.m. on Monday, January 26, 2026. This is a regular monthly meeting of the District of Columbia Commission on the Arts and Humanities. My name is Reggie Van Lee, Chairman of the Commission on the Arts and Humanities. I'm an African-American man wearing a blue turtleneck to protect me from the cold. I will now call the roll. When you hear your name, please answer present. Commissioner Sims, Habamana.
Present.
Oh, thank you. Masters Berry, Butler,
Present.
Warden,
Present.
Torres,
Present.
Kim,
Present.
Rienza, Minkiti, O'Neill,
Present.
Stedman. A quorum is present. This is a meeting of the public body held in open session and is governed by the Open Meetings Act. Please address any questions or complaints arising under this meeting to the Office of Open Government at OpenGov office at dc.gov. Notice of the meeting was posted in the DC Register, on the Commission's website, dcarts.dc.gov, and on the DC Office of Open Government Central Meeting Calendar at open-dc.gov. The meeting is being conducted in a hybrid format. Actually, it's actually all virtual format, with commissioners joining remotely using the Zoom meeting platform. The meeting is being live streamed at the Commission's YouTube channel. An electronic recording of the meeting will be available for viewing online following the conclusion of the meeting. Are there any objections to the agenda and minutes that were previously circulated from our December 15th, 2025 regular meeting? Hearing no objection, the agenda for this meeting and the minutes from the previous meeting stand as adopted. I will now read the land acknowledgement. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will, some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We begin this effort to acknowledge what has been buried by honoring the truth. We stand on the ancestral lands of the CAH and the Piscataway people. We pay respects to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events, and to use such truths to guide the legacy of the Arts Commission. Good evening and welcome to everyone. We have a robust agenda meeting this evening with reports from various committees, a grantee highlight, and public commentary from members of the art community. Today, our grantee highlight is Lynn Dyson from the Multimedia Training Institute.
Well, hello. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
I'm going to just be very brief and say in a few words. I have a couple of videos I'd like to share with you. They're very short and only have about 5 or 6 minutes. I started my career here in DC, I guess, at Howard University and the DC Black Repertory Company. Robert Hooks founded the DC Black Repertory back in the early 70s. And I was also going to Howard University in television film at the time, theater and television and film. And when I left there, maybe 7, 8 years later, I took the concept of the DC Black Repertory Company in terms of training young people and being involved and giving them opportunities. I took the concept of that along with the Howard University in terms of television and film, and I brought the two together, and thus Multimedia Training Institute was born, theater and technology. My assistant May is here. May, can you play the first video? Sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. If you could play the first video, it's a very short video that gives you a summation of Multimedia Training Institute. You can share your screen, May.
Lynn, I'm not seeing. Okay, there we are.
If you can start that from the beginning, hopefully. Okay, start that from the beginning. Start it from the beginning. Okay. You got sound? Can anybody hear it? Oh no. Go back. It's playing without sound. Hmm. May, can you take it back? Make sure the sound is on.
Let me just try to share it with sound. It's not allowing me to share the sound though.
All right, well, just play it and I'll just try to talk people through it.
Okay.
Okay, here's a young person being involved, talking to them about why they're at multimedia and why it's important. That's our young people behind and that's this, well, it's going fast. And people coming to see the shows. We were doing Zora Neale Hurston. That's our young people behind the scenes. We're talking about theater. We're talking about, we do jazz, and you see the Zora Neale Hurston play there. We have young people being bussed in. That's the stage, and you think about the stage, that's what CAP allowed us to do, our students behind the scenes. The mayor proclaimed Zora Neale Hurston Day. We had the Zeta Phi Beta people there, our young people taking surveys after the show. Let me see, them being interviewed again here about the show, how they felt about the show, the impact the show had on them. Um, Let's see what else here. And this studio, by the way, is the studio that CAP allowed us to build. And it's the only performing arts studio in Ward 7. Ward 8 has everything. That's the mayor proclaiming Zora Neale Hurston Day in Washington, D.C. We were showing jazz there. We honored Sandra Truesdale. A lot of you know who she is. You know, we honor our sheroes. There was a Black Voters Guide project. They were talking to the public about that nonpartisan. You get another good view of the studio. You see the Zeta people there, so young people behind the scenes. Another good shot of the studio, the lights up there, the cameras with our young people. Of course, there's the young people again, because that's what we are about. The technology, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and he's kind of rounding it out for us there and showing that. And that's it for that piece. Okay, let's move on. Now, we want to show our upcoming workshops that the commission assists us with. May, you want to bring up the current workshop flyer so they can see that the current workshops that for us, they're going to be starting in February. We have two phases to our workshops. One is September to January. And then our next phase is from February to May. And as you can see, we do workshops in arts administration, digital graphics, financial literacy, IT. You know, some of those workshops we're not doing, some of them we are doing, because we can't do all of them. That just shows you everything that we're doing. So we're closing out one set of workshops and starting up again for February. Okay, we can close that out. Out of our workshops, I'm going to bring up the podcast flyer next, May. Out of our workshops, you know, because we teach young people in video production, or we teach them journalism and AI and entrepreneurship, we may teach them technical theater. But what do you do with those skills? And one of the things we did, and as I said to you, our young people are finishing up January their project from October, and that final project was Justice in D.C. Let's talk about it. Councilmember Robert White came to our studio. We had Tyrone Parker, we had Ronald Moulton, we had Janice Patterson, we had Roach Brown, and they were talking about the issue of the death penalty in Washington, D.C., that is being lowered from 16 to 14 years old. A lot of people do not know that the House has already passed the bill and it's on its way to the Senate. And with this administration, the Senate's going to pass it, and then the president's going to sign it. We can't stop it, right? But at least we can bring awareness about it. And that's what our young people were doing. And that was their final project. They used their journalism skills, their video skills, their technical theater skills to do a project that informed the public and brought awareness. Can we show a little bit of that? Unfortunately, not going to be able to hear the sound, but can we show a little bit of the podcast video? That just happened this Saturday, a couple of days ago. Can we show that, May? I'm so sorry we don't have sound. Okay, this is this. Okay, let's get the poster fly out the way. Okay, this is our studio. You'll give another good chance to see the studio that the CAP grant built. All right, so here we are. Of course, our students are in the back on the cameras, right? And we have a budding director over here switching the whole show. Our instructors instructing him about how to switch the cameras. We have a 4-camera switch going on in the studio, shooting the panel discussion. Okay, so he's telling him the best shots to pick and when to pick them and why to pick them. Okay, and then we're going to go on up to the studio now. Another good shot of the studio there. There's our guest on the stage. Again, you see the lighting, you see the monitors. There's one of our students on the video camera. I told you it was a 4-camera shoot. And there's some of the student panelists. You see the student panelists, and there's our panelists there, Mr. White, Mr. Moten, that's our student panelists. They're asking the questions. Again, this is a student project. Okay, and then we have another student over there on the camera. Okay, I'm just so sorry you can't hear the rich discussion that was going on stage. That's Moten, Councilmember White, Roach Brown, and that's the end of that. That's the short piece of that showing what was doing, and that's the end of my videos. Next, I want to talk about our really big project that I'm really excited about. And that will be coming up February 23rd, probably one of our most ambitious projects. And that will be a multimedia production at the Lincoln Theater, made possible by the DC Commission primarily. And I'm just so excited about this. And thank you, Mr. Aaron. We met with you. And here's the flyer on that. And you see Mr. Baldwin, you see a number of people on the left-hand side that had an influence and impact on his life. How many people can you all name on the side of this flyer? Of course, we have Martin Luther King, we have Malcolm X, that's Nina Simone, that's Lorraine Hansberry, that's Medgar Evers, even Marlon Brando, Nikki Giovanni, Maya Angelou, and Miles Davis. You're going to see on stage James Baldwin having a conversation with Lorraine Hansberry and Maya Angelou and Nikki Giovanni. How about that? Bringing it back to life. We have Howard University students on stage, former students and present students performing. We have Howard University students and our students behind the scenes dealing with all the stage management and technical stuff and all that. We have our students on the cameras doing a 4-camera switch, which you just saw in the studio that we just did. We're going to have our students shadowing the Lincoln Theater, because you know Lincoln Theater is union, so you can't put your hands on the buttons and push anything, but our students are going to be shadowing that in terms of them observing that. So we're just so excited about this. As I said, it's our biggest project. We hope to get youth and seniors bussed in from the DC Rec and Office of Aging to bust them in. And that's on the 23rd of February. We're going to have a VIP reception beforehand at Ben's Next Door. All of you are invited to the VIP reception, of course. And we're going to have a postcast party at Ben's Next Door. All right, so let's move on to that and go to the last thing. I spoke to your chair of your committee and your co-chair and told them about my big legacy project. All right, I may not live to see it, but hopefully we'll see it. And that is the Robert Hooks International Media Center. Can we bring that up? Now, we're going to do all these great shows at the Lincoln Theater. We're going to do all these podcasts and video stuff at our little small 80-seat theater. Then why not build something that's lasting and it's a legacy? Can we bring that up, May? There's no sound. You can show the picture. And this will be my last part. And it's a 5-year project we hope to do. May, can you bring up that picture, please? But we are proposing a 500-seat theater that would have 75 units of assisted living housing on the top. Also, there will be a wellness clinic that deals with East and West healing arts. And then we also would have a restaurant. May, can you bring it up, please? So that's,
Very well, sir.
what did you say? That will be our lasting legacy. We hope to have that all this great stuff that we're doing for our young people. We're having a place that we're giving young people workforce development. We have housing for seniors, and all that great stuff. A lot of AI being infused in our workshops these days. Okay, here it comes. All right, so there it is. If you see, we modeled it after, it's just a model. We modeled it after the
African Museum.
museum on the mall.
Mhm.
That may change. They might say, oh no, copyright infringement. But we wanted something Afrocentric, and that may change, but it's just a model. But just imagine 75 units of senior housing up at the top. On the side, you got your clinic over there, you got your theater there, you got your seafood restaurant there, maybe New Orleans, you know. But the key thing is the lasting legacy. And this is just a vision. I had thought about it being part of the RFK campus. It would be great to have it over there, you know, and maybe some of you can assist us in making that happen. You know, I know Events DC is very much involved in doing that. And so we would love to talk to the Commander Stadium about that, and workforce development east of the river, you know, the only place like it. And that's kind of the lasting legacy.
Good.
So,
I'm
ladies
gonna
and
have
gentlemen,
to-
that's Multimedia Training Institute. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna have to bring you to a conclusion because we're running a little bit over, but thank you.
That was my conclusion.
It's always good to see where our investment in projects like this have gone. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Perhaps you all can send us the videos and I can distribute it to the commissioners. We can watch them on our own because I would like
Yes.
to hear the audio that went with them. And we thank you for doing the hard work that you're doing.
And I thank the commission because we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to move on to our public comment portion. We have a number of people speaking. We'll start with Gary Harlick. The commission welcomes your comments. They are very important to us. Please note that comments are limited to 3 minutes. I'm going to be a little bit of a timekeeper on this. Please address your remarks to the chair. Note that we will not be engaging into dialogue at this time. The purpose of this agenda item is for you, the public, to inform us, the commission, about your views. If members of the public have factual questions, staff will be glad to follow up via email. So when I call your name, you may begin, and we'll start with Mr. Harlick. Is he here, Edward?
Yes, Chair, he is here. He has privileges to unmute and turn on the camera. Mr. Horlick.
I don't have a video. Can you hear me?
We can, thank you.
Okay, let's go with that. I have a very short comment about the Uptown Theater project on Cleveland Avenue, Connecticut Avenue. I was born in DC. I've lived in Woodley Park 49 years, which amazes me. I wanted to just highlight one aspect of the Uptown Theater, which was not widely known. Starting in the late 70s, when it put in a bigger screen and better sound, it became a magnet for people not just from the neighborhood, but also all of DC, and more importantly, for my purpose, all over the DC area, DMV. Why? After a little bit, it became the only theater with a 70 big full-size 70 mm quality screen, and it actually had a balcony. So I would go with my family, with friends. We'd have to stand in line to get in. We'd wind up talking with the other people in line. And this was true for sort of with the Star Wars, then the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the trilogy for Lord of the Rings, then the Harry Potter one. So this was always the same. People in line came from all over because of that characteristic. They couldn't get that at their local theaters. They would come to Washington. They'd come here, they'd park here, they'd go to restaurants here, they'd go to bars here. So this was in terms of not just the local area. They were bringing in entertainment dollars from outside of Washington, D.C. And so I have no idea what shape the Uptown's in now. will leave to you all what I consider the merit of its having an one of the remaining, if only, Art Deco movie theater in DMV. There's some 1920s one, but this is pure Art Deco. But beyond that, it is worth, as you guys discuss it, and as the government discusses it, attention should be given to doing something that brings in people from outside of DC. This is purely an economic proposition, but that matters. Thanks.
Good. Thank you. Next, we have Beryl Holly from the National Theater.
Hi there. My name's Beryl Jolly. I'm the CEO of the National Theater Foundation. I came here because I wanted to express my great appreciation to the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities on behalf of the entire board and staff of our theater for your funding for local theaters grant. This support, as well as charitable gifts from our board and great broader community, made a historic moment possible. On December 19th, 2025, the National Theater Foundation closed on the purchase of our renowned theater. So for the first time in its nearly 200-year history, the National Theater is owned by a nonprofit that's dedicated to its preservation and care. Ownership gives us complete oversight to meet our mission and ensure that future investments and capital improvements will be directed towards an asset we own rather than rent. It also guarantees autonomy over our programming and gives us a platform to focus on serving our diverse community with free educational and community programs for generations to come. It allows us to continue to welcome approximately 250,000 people through our doors every year to enjoy the best of Broadway seasons. And this in turn helps us keep downtown DC vibrant and active in all seasons. Thank you for making this transformative moment possible. I also want to thank the Commission for the many years of general operating support that has allowed us to reach deep into the Washington, D.C. community and provide access to performing arts to thousands of individuals who otherwise would not be able to experience it. Last fiscal year, our community programs reached residents in all 8 wards of the city. 15 DC area schools participated in our Teens Behind the Scenes program, which provides free tickets and artist talkbacks to local students at our Broadway shows. Nearly half of our Saturday Morning Live participants, which offer free programs to toddlers and their families, were district residents. Our partnership with the DC Public Library System, called the National Theater Live at the Library, reached over 500 community members at 10 different libraries. And the National Theater's community stages brought DC area artists to Children's National Hospital to entertain and engage patients and caregivers with 20 separate performances, including the all-day Sunflower Music Festival. Additionally, these artists perform for residents at DC Centers for Senior Citizens as well. The impact the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities funding has had on the National Theater Foundation and the communities we serve can't fully be quantified by numbers. As a parent recently relayed, we loved our experience at Saturday Morning Live and are already looking forward to returning. The staff was warm and welcoming, and my son loved the interactive show. It was the perfect length and time of day for a 4-year-old. This is such an excellent way to introduce children to live performances, and it's free. What a gift to the community. So thank you to Chairman Van Lee, Aaron, David, the entire staff, and all of the commissioners for what you do for the National Theater and our DC community. Your work has a tremendous impact now and for future generations.
Great, thank you so much. And my apologies for miscalling your last name in my introduction.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
We like this partnership, so we'll keep it going. Thank you so much.
Terrific. Thanks.
Lastly, we have Kyle Rumpler of DC's Different Drummers for public comment.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Chair and Commission members. My name is Kyle Rumpler. I'm speaking in my role on the board for DC's Different Drummers. We're a non-audition LGBTQ+ performing arts organization nearing our 50th year in operation. And I just wanted to express our extreme gratitude for being selected as a recipient for one of the Commission's general operating support grants in 2026. I've submitted some written comments, so I'll try not to be overly repetitive, but a great side effect of weather canceling our rehearsal tonight is that I could be here to properly thank you all for your trust in our mission over the last several years. speak briefly on some recent successes we've had. So our band's had a really incredible 2025 that we hope to keep building on. Our jazz band completed its goal to perform free shows in every ward across DC, several of which were at DC public libraries or at local staples like Porch Fest. The symphonic band reached an all-time high of about 150 members, and our fall and holiday concerts maxed out our venue capacity with over 400 attendees at each. We had to change our rehearsal space this past year, and maybe we should be looking at the Multimedia Training Institute's new space when that's built, because it looks pretty stunning. The band also had the opportunity to commission and showcase a new piece of music to honor a former director of ours who had passed away. And lastly, our marching band and color guard got to perform on some really big stages, including World Pride, which you all know was here in DC, and Warped Tour on stage with All Time Low. So some really cool opportunities. We've had some really amazing connections, both local and far-flung, that we've been lucky to form and grow this past year. And we want to keep integrating further into the vibrant arts around DC. So all to say that, yes, we are a performing arts group first and foremost, but we're really a mainstay of both arts and LGBTQ plus culture here in the city. And perhaps more importantly, I think we've become a place of solace for a pretty big membership amid all the chaos of the world. So we look to continue expanding and growing, and we really appreciate the support of the commission. So thank you for your time.
Great, thank you so much. So this is great to have three great grantees to speak with us today. And again, it helps us remember why we're here. So thank you. It encourages us to keep going. So we love the partnership with our grantees, and thank you so much for being with us this evening. Now we'll move on to the Executive Director report. Aaron?
Hello, everybody. My name is Aaron Myers, African-American male, balding. Some of the hair is trying to come back, though, and with a gray shirt on. I'm going to offer our report for today, starting with some agency updates. The agency's performance oversight hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, February 11th. The agency will be compiling data showing the improvements and efficiency that have been made, how the agency has postured itself to be a stronger partner in helping with economic development efforts in the downtown region and other parts of the city, how we've responded to feedback provided by the community, and what we look to do this year that will help move the agency towards greater improvements in the future. One-on-ones with commissioners have been very enlightening. Thank you all for those who've met with me so far. And I'm encouraged to know this city has true advocates who care about the creative ecosystem serving on this commission. If we've not had our one-on-one yet, look in your email. I actually should have emailed you. I saw some responses come in today. Last year, in honor of Ron Humbertson, I created a special recognition to highlight the work of employees who've excelled with customer service, both inside the agency and with our external partners. Last quarter, we recognized Mrs. Parker. She was the agency's longest serving employee. For this quarter, I'd like to recognize Louisa Hammond, who has in many ways been CAH's ambassador to other agencies who reach out daily to have the art of this agency placed inside their offices. With an excess of 30 requests in the queue, Louisa stepped into the agency and got right to work, leading the work of the registrar through loss and difficult circumstances. Thank you, Louisa, for your service. Let's just give her a quick little round of applause from where we are. Louisa's done great work. And so, and now I know that she's well known because every agency director I run into who wants art calls her by name almost. So that's a good thing. I would also like to acknowledge the intense trainings completed by Grace Allen, the agency special advisor, and congratulate Ashley Lynch, who completed her PMP project management professional training and received her PMI certificate. So good training and work is happening at the agency by the staff. Strategic plan. As shared in December, the Commission has launched development of its next strategic plan with Opportunity Consulting. Commissioners will be invited to participate in 45-minute small group virtual interviews to share their perspectives on Commission's work. Interviews are self-scheduled and insights will not be attributed to individual members, which means you can speak freely. Special Assistant Andrew Jacobson will send out an email with the self-scheduling link tomorrow, Tuesday, January 27th. In the meantime, the project plan has been updated and reviewed by staff, and the governance committee will serve as the strategic plan committee as outlined in the bylaws. But potential strategic planning focus meeting dates for the meetings have been suggested and will be confirmed by Opportunity Consulting this week. I want to thank J.R. Russ on the staff side and Commissioner Brenza on the commissioner side for their help over the next few months as we go through the different stages that come with strategic planning. Grants. The team is working to get awards to grantees I should say this, Mr. Chairman, I hear your voice in the back of my head saying, well, how quick can we get the money to the people? All this, that's what I hear a lot. So at the end of January 2025, 589 purchase orders were created. That was last year, which equaled 51% of grant awards. As of January 23rd of 2026, 642 purchase orders have been created. That's 55% of grant awards. We've seen that more have entered the approval process this weekend, so this number will increase even more by January 31st. So, which puts us ahead of where we were last year, even with a 2-week delay in getting started. I would like to thank the grants team for their hard work and give a shout out to the collaboration between grants and resource allocation as we've witnessed this improvements in efficiency, and already discussing ways we can make the process even more efficient to get awards to grantees faster. So that's our goal, everybody, to do better, and that's what we're seeking to do. The last thing I want to mention is Inside Out. And I encourage all of our commissioners and the public to visit the agency's I Street Gallery to experience the current exhibition Inside Out. As you've heard from the curators, and as you may hear more from the public art update, I want to echo not only was it inspiring to witness those who came and were inspired by the opening of the exhibit, I hope to work with our public arts team and the Mayor's Office of Returning Citizens Affairs to see what we could do to bring a program like this back. I look forward to speaking with the Mayor's Office of Returning Citizens Affairs to see how a partnership could help revive a powerful program such as this. This exhibition will run through March 5th, and if you've not seen it, please go see it. It is just touching. It is everything that you would think that art should do and the story it should tell, and it shows the glory of this agency. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Any questions from the commissioners? Thank you, Aaron. We'll go on to the Grants Committee. Gretchen.
Hi there, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this cold evening. Because I'm having a voice problem, I am going to turn over the grants report to none other than Terrell. Terrell, are you on?
I am. I'm here.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Terrell is the manager of our grants department, and he does a fantastic job, as do all of our grants managers. And they work day and night and weekends. Terrell.
Awesome. Thank you, Gretchen. I am a African American male. I have on a gray cardigan to protect from the cold as well. So I'll be brief. Our FY27 grant cycle, we have exciting grant opportunities opening soon. Our general operating support GOS will open the last week of March. East Arts and projects, events, and festivals will open mid-April, and more information to follow. FY26 grants update. We're happy to report significant progress on FY26 grant agreements. Here's the breakdown. So far we have 717 out of 1,096 grants. That's about 66% have been fully executed. We've established purchase orders for 55% of our grantees. We currently have 70 small capital project grants in the final stages of review and approval. We sincerely appreciate your patience and the grace you have provided. We're working diligently to get the completion rate up to 100%. New grant management system for FY27. Following our successful transition to a fully paperless grant process, we are excited to introduce our new grant management system, Submittable. This platform is designed to be more intuitive and user-friendly, making the submission process easier than ever. Workshops on using Submittable will begin next month and will continue throughout FY27's grant cycle. Stay tuned for more details and registration information. Missing documentation, we can help. If you're unsure about any required documentation for your grant agreement, please reach out to your grant manager directly. They're happy to assist you and can provide additional resources to help secure what's needed. And that is the grants report.
Let me give a high five on Submittable and our new grants process. And so far, everything I heard, it is delivering as we had hoped. We can't imagine how we lived without it before. So congrats to the team. I know bringing in new systems is a challenge and getting to work through and all of that. So my applause to you on all that the committee's done, but the team has done rather, but especially the new grants process. But Gretchen, anything else from you before questions to the commission?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Yes, any questions from the commissioners? So thank you, Gretchen. Thank you, Terrell. Thank you, the entire grants team. Thanks. This is great.
Good.
Thank you.
Finance Committee, Janice.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janice Kim, and I'd like to share that we had our monthly Finance Committee meeting last Friday. And before I turn things over to Brandon, our Resource Allocation Officer, I'd like to inform the commissioners that our February meeting date for Finance Committee has been moved from February 19th at 1 p.m. instead of the 20th as originally scheduled. You're very welcome to join us should you wish to review any of the figures in the finance report in greater details. And with that, I pass over to Brandon.
Thank you so much, Janice. Is there a copy of the Finance Committee report? There we go. Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday, and hope everyone's warm. My name is Brandon Saunders, Resource Allocation Officer. I'm African-American male, wearing a gray hoodie, also to stay warm, amongst other things as well, keep the good blood flowing. But I'm happy also to share this month's Finance Committee meeting report. This is a good month because this is essentially the beginning of our quarter two overall. So we have a good realm on progress. So thank you, Edward. Just kind of get into the report. The first slide just shows, and I kind of included a little bit of more of a simplified visual that highlights some of the more major figures of what's available overall. As you can see, even though we're in quarter two, the agency has already expended over 50% of its budget. So in addition to a lot of the grants going out, a lot of the administrative contracts are also being expended. And we're pretty efficient on the operational side as well, which I'm happy to report. And so we can move to the next slide. So this is, of course, just kind of a little bit more of a breakdown of our administrative side that provides the more overall macro level categories. Of course, I was just kind of teasing out, seeing if there's positive feedback to any additional visuals. So I'm happy to be inclusive of more straightforward ones on these other slides moving up as well. But of course, this provides just some of the same data, just in a more granular way overall in terms of the administrative side of the agency's major categories. And then we can move to the next slide. And then, yes, of course, this slide is the companion slide to the previous slide overall that gives a much larger breakdown and a much more specific way in terms of the categories. So instead of just supplies, you'll see, office supplies, you'll see general supplies and so forth. Instead of just some of the more basic services and charges, you'll see like the actual services like advertising and sponsorships, etc. And so we can move to the next slide. And then finally, of course, is our grants section side of things, broken out by overall program as well, which of course we've heard that we're trending pretty well. I'd also highlight that that there's even less available money because there are even more requisitions that have been started, which are in the commitment and obligation stage. So they're pretty much in the approval process and will make its way soon to the purchase order stage as well. And that's all I have to share. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions, commissioners? Anything else from you, Janice?
Nope, everything is great. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Brandon. And thank you to the finance team. On to public art. Carla.
I know this is Corinne here. I know commissioners, or are you jumping in, Carla?
I don't have much of a voice.
I see she's off mute.
Yeah, she's not Commissioner Sims isn't feeling well, I don't think has much of a voice, so I'm happy to jump in if that's helpful.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Commissioner Sims. I'm Corinne Miller. I'm the public arts team lead here at the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities. A white woman with brown hair, glasses, and I'm wearing a green sweater, and I use she, her pronouns. The Public Art Committee met a couple of weeks ago on January 14th, and I'm happy to give the report from that meeting. So the team prepares a staff report for each meeting, and we reported out that Courtney Spearman joined the public arts team as a contractor in December to support work on select efforts. Courtney comes from the National Endowment for the Arts and is with the team for 3 days a week. The team continues work with our current FY26 grantees, while also revising and developing things for the FY 2027 grants calendar. We also have 3 FY 2026 grant programs still in progress this year. So those are the Juried Exhibition Grant Program, Color the Curb, and Fresh Paint, which I'll talk a little bit more later on in this report. The team also continues some really interesting work with district agencies and partners to seek new collaborations and to also strengthen existing relationships. This includes partnering with DC Public Schools on an upcoming professional development day for visual arts teachers. It also involves working on a unique collaboration to spotlight local stories for America 250 with the DC History Center, Humanities DC, the DC Public Library, and the Anacostia Community Museum. I can also give an update on our FY26 Art Bank program. So we're in the process of going through grant paperwork for 68 grantees and creating debrief documents for 105 applicants. These numbers are better because this was as of January 8th, but we'd had issued 53 of those payments. 8 were at invoicing stage, 2 requisitions have been submitted, and the rest of the paperwork's being processed. So we're making great progress on that grant line. We also closed the DC Art Now exhibition last December. We had a really great and well-attended closing reception in the gallery, highlighting emerging artists of the DMV. It was a really excellent turnout. That exhibition featured 57 artworks by Art Bank finalists within the gallery. I'll also give an update on our art exhibition curatorial grant program. So Director Myers mentioned in his report that we just welcomed the first of the 2 art exhibition curatorial grant exhibitions at the I Street Gallery. So Inside Out, Dignity in the Art of Seeing opened on January 15th and will run through March 6th. It's groundbreaking in turning the camera around and placing power and self-perception in the hands of incarcerated photographers. So the images and stories stand as testament to how image making can change lives and emerge from a historic and pioneering program at the DC Commission in the 80s called the Art in Prison Initiative. We're very excited about this show. The opening was a great success, and we're looking forward to an artist talk, which will be next Friday, Thursday, February 5th. from 6 to 7:30, and then we'll also have a closing reception March 5th from 6 to 8. So there's lots more great opportunities to engage with this exhibition. So looking ahead to spring of 2026, which sounds so warm and lovely right now, will be Finders Keepers with curators Ira Tattleman and Kanchan Balse, which will run April 3rd to May 22nd. It's an art exhibition celebrating the work of 15 artists turning trash into art. So it's lots of Earth Day and ecology themes. And that opening will be on April 2nd from 6 to 8. You can see in the report that there's additional really robust programming happening concurrent with that exhibition as well. So the FY26 Juried Exhibition Grant Program, we continue work on that request for applications closed on December 1st with a total of 95 submissions. That exhibition will happen June 11th through August 7th, and it calls on artists who use collage not only as a visual technique, but also as a metaphor for cultural, political, ecological, personal investigation, and critique. The jury convenes late January, and we aim to bring decisions to the Public Art Committee in February. The Public Art Building Communities Program, so the NOMA Business Improvement District secured a spot on the January 2026 agenda for the Commission of Fine Arts to review the Public Art Project Curve, which actually happened last week. It marks an important step in this project's process as the committee's feedback helps shape the final design and aligns it with public space goals. The team also held a Business of the Arts program titled Public Art Building Communities Head Start that was held last week on January 21st from 6 to 7:30. We had a great turnout for that, and it helps potential applicants get a head start. A quick update on our Color the Curb program. So we were able to launch the request for applications using Submittable on November 17th, and the deadline was earlier this month. And the team is now working on convening a review panel. It's comprised of former grantees, local muralists, youth program leaders, and they're doing their orientation and will convene within the next couple of weeks. Our Fresh Paint program, this is the new mural program that the team has been working on. That request for applications released on December 15th. That's open now still through February 23rd. So if folks know muralists who might be interested, please let them know that they have a little bit more time to pull together an application. We're also working on site selection in collaboration with some partners, the Downtown Business Improvement District, as well as a couple of the main streets. And the team is working on creating a process to accept site nominations and collect information for potential partners for future years of the program. Couple more updates. So in terms of collections management, Director Myers mentioned that this program continues to be in high demand. I think right now we have about 27 active requests. We've also been working on cataloging the FY26 Art Bank works. The new acquisition should be online in the next couple of weeks, and we're making some really great updates to the e-museum where people can access information about the artists that are in the collection. And then my last update is on the DC Public Art Map, something that the team has been working on for a while now to map all of the exterior works within the collection. It's an interactive digital tool that will let users locate public artworks within the collection using specific traits and different search functions. It'll be viewable from the CAH website and is built using a platform called ArcGIS through a special collaboration that we have with the Office of the Chief Technology Officer. So very excited about that new program as well. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the commissioners? Great report as always. Thank you, Corinne and your team. Thank you, Carla. Art education, Hector.
Okay, thank you very
Mr.
much.
Chair,
Thank you very much. We did not have a meeting this January. We did have one in December. Our next meeting will convene on February 9th, so there's nothing to report for this particular meeting. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Hector. Community advisory, Cicely.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cecily Abimana. I am the chair of the Community Advisory Committee. And we met on, I think we met on January 20th, and went over some things that we had been working on from over in December. And so I'm just going to turn it over to Grace Allen, the special advisor for the commission, and she's going to talk through our report.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Grace Allen, an African American woman wearing a red top and red glasses. I serve as the special advisor with the Commission on Arts and Humanities. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. So just as Commissioner Habimana mentioned, we did meet on the 20th and we were joined by our chairperson along with several of the other commissioners, along with myself. And we were able to talk through ways we can be in community even more this year. So a lot of changes coming, but really exciting changes. We've talked about how the system is being updated with Submittable and how that is a lot more user friendly. We also want to make sure that our language is aligning as we grow as an agency and as a society. We want to make sure our language grows with us. And so the previous commission meeting, we were able to have the bylaw language updated and voted on and passed. And so now that we have that update, we're in the process of continuing that review, that cultural and community-centered review when it comes to our grant languages. And so lots of things underway. Don't worry, we're going to keep you up to speed and make sure that you're well prepared when our request for applications open. So we have workshops that are coming up. We'll be providing some supportive resources and a number of other things. We do plan to be a lot more in community. Unfortunately, the weather's not on our side right now with the snow day, but as things warm up, just know we have a lot of things in queue. And something you can attend tomorrow, despite the snow, we have a virtual panel that we are partnering with, along with the Office of Planning and Economic Development, small businesses and local business development, insurance, securities, banking, licensing, and consumer protection, as well as the Washington Area Community Investment Fund and Anacostia Arts Center. Again, you can stay nice and cozy from your home and safely sheltered in while attending this informative session. We want to talk about ways we can boost the economy and also boost the creative economy. So if you are an artist, a small business owner within the arts, if you are looking to be an applicant or are a grantee and you're looking at ways to enhance your business and artistry, please do join us. We'll be talking about all of those things and more in ways that you can get the support that you need. We know that tax season is coming up and there's so many questions around the business of the arts. And I know we have our Business of the Arts series, but we want to make sure we're continuing to inform you as individual artists and as small businesses. So please do join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I look forward to seeing you there. We have a number of staff trainings coming up as well, and we'll share more when those dates are a bit closer, but we're excited for our overall updates and language updates, and we can't wait to share them with you and train you on them. So more to come.
And Grace, how can they get the link to register? I know it's on the screen, but
Yes, it's hyperlinked in the document that I sent over to our comms team, so it'll be uploaded to the website. You'll be able to find that material there if it's not already there. And you can just click on the link. It's a free session, and you just click register, and then I'll see you in the morning. And I can also share the link again if there's a way that they want to drop it into the YouTube streaming chat. I'll send the link again. Yeah.
yeah, that would be great, just in case it doesn't get up
Absolutely.
in
Yep.
time for
I'll send
tomorrow.
it right now.
All right. Thanks, Grace.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you both. Any questions, commissioners? Good. Well, I think that concludes the committee reports. We do have some unfinished business, and Aaron started and touched upon this, but to reiterate, the December's full commission meeting, we stated that there would be actions towards supporting the agency's FY 26 through 29 strategic plan. As such, our bylaws explicitly assign oversight of the Commission's strategic plan, governance processes, and structural alignment to the Governance Committee. The Governance Committee and any additional commissioners who wish to actively participate will, number one, provide governing and advisory support to the strategic planning process in partnership with the Commission staff and Opportunity Consulting, which is the vendor that Aaron mentioned before that's going to be doing the strategic plan with us, including offering input on the process, reviewing and commenting on draft materials, and ensuring alignment with the Commission's mission, vision, legislated granting of authority and process, and statutory responsibilities. Number two, commit to 3 90-minute meetings at key juncture points during the drafting of the strategic plan. Members should also anticipate additional time for reviewing draft materials and for discussion with fellow commissioners and staff throughout the planning process. There will be an additional volunteer time of approximately 10 to 15 hours. Number three, Governance Committee meetings may include additional commissioners to support the strategic plan work who wish to participate, provided total attendance remains below 7 commissioners. No votes or binding decisions will occur in these sessions, and all recommendations will be reported to the full board at a public meeting. Number four, specific meeting dates, times, and whether meetings will be in person or virtual will be finalized no later than Monday, March 2nd. Number five, completion and approval of the 26 through 29 strategic planning framework and final deliverables will occur no later than September 2026, preferably during the September monthly public meeting, currently scheduled for Monday, September 28th. Additional Governance Committee strategic plan support for the 26 through 29 meeting schedule. Meetings will be 90 minutes each, as I said before. Materials will be shared in advance. For the week of April 2nd is the Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats, SWOT analysis review. Week of May 11, strategic plan design session. Week of June 29, review of draft strategic plan. So if there's no other unfinished business, and this was a mouthful, but we wanted to be very clear about how this strategic planning process will proceed. If there's no other unfinished business, we can proceed to new business. Questions, comments on the strategic plan process? Is there any new business? Hearing none, we will proceed to close the meeting. The next meeting of the commission will be held Monday, February 23rd, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. The time is now 6:31, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.